Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this important webinar that Xcelerated Consulting Group and Bravent is about to demonstrate. Before we start, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about Xcelerated Consulting Group. We've been in business since 2018, providing IT, human talent, and Excel expertise with financial planning and analysis with Excel, Power BI for financial analysis for financial companies. The founders at XCG, Xcelerated Consulting Group, have enterprise background with Accenture and large enterprise software companies. In 2019, we became a solution partner with Snowflake and Matillion for data warehouse services. And we also became involved with Matilda Software, providing cloud migration and optimization services. With the growth of the metaverse and immersive technology, we grew the business by delivering XR and IT human talent for enterprise organizations. Today, our consultants are deployed in developing immersive solutions at global Fortune companies. Recently, we strategically partnered with Bravent, one of the largest Microsoft partners reseller, to provide practical Azure, OpenAI solution, digital twin development, and virtual workroom services, to name a few. XCG with Bravent Services combines the selling and marketing operations for the US, as I'm working closely with Bravent, the Bravent team, and Mario Lopez, the co-founder and CTO. Together, we plan to provide you with consulting and reselling of products and services for the technology and services we show you today, and other technologies I mentioned earlier. We will focus in the demo about Azure services and ChatGPT integration with enterprise data. Azure Open Artificial Intelligence hardly needs an introduction. Azure Open Artificial Intelligence is a suite of natural language processing, more familiar with NLP models developed by OpenAI. The models can be used in various applications, including text generations, summarizations, and translations. Microsoft offers Azure OpenAI as an Azure Cognitive Service, which means it has the same feature sets as existing cognitive services. It is available as an API supporting private connectivity in Azure RBAC. The webinar today will cover what services OpenAI offers, how to leverage the power of Microsoft Azure services with your company data in ChatGPT to provide your business with leading-edge application services. We will show you examples of different use cases: marketing, pharmaceutical, banking, and credit card services. You will also discover the latest trends in artificial intelligence and machine learning. We will show you how to use artificial intelligence to improve the efficiency and profitability of your business. We'll show you clear examples of use cases and the results. I'm hoping that you will walk away with information and resources to leverage the power of artificial intelligence to improve operations efficiencies, increase innovations, drive revenue growth for your company, enhance customer experience, and provide business intelligence for better decision making. Let us get started with Mario Lopez, the CTO of Bravent, who is working with me on strategic initiative in the US. Mario will show you several examples, and we'll take the discussion a little bit deeper into the technology itself. And feel free to reach out if you have any questions after the webinar, and if you need our services, and hopefully you will find that we are able to show you how to automate all these services within your organization. Thanks again, and Mario, why don't you take over? Appreciate that. Take care. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Moshe, for the presentation. We really appreciate it. So now we will start with our webinar. Today we have a perfect topic, a perfect topic that I love, that is the OpenAI. We will talk about artificial intelligence and the services that we have in OpenAI. And we will talk about several use cases and how we can apply this technology. So let's start talking about OpenAI, because a lot of people, well, the whole world, I think, that is talking about artificial intelligence right now, and also about OpenAI. And this is in my humble opinion, I think that this is a game changing, because they are using generative AI, and they can use all the different information that we have around the world, and they are training amazing models, and they can use all of this information to understand what a person is saying, and to answer with the correct information. They have amazing services that we can use, we can integrate in our software. And I think that this is something that is very, very powerful. I always say that I recommend to use this technology, because if you don't use it, probably in the future will be a company that will do it for sure, and will be better for you, because artificial intelligence right now is really amazing. It's really amazing, the power that you can get from them. So I really recommend to use this kind of technologies. So first of all, let's talk about the history of OpenAI, because for us, probably this is something very new, but it started in before 2019. But a very interesting thing is that in 2019 was announced the partnership between Microsoft and OpenAI. And a few minutes later, I will explain what it means, because it's so important. After that, Microsoft started to use the services from OpenAI, and started to integrate in different software, like we are seeing here in Microsoft Designer. In 2022, it was launched ChatGPT, that now is very famous, and we will talk a little bit about it. And this year we are seeing amazing things in 2023 about OpenAI. And we started to show the OpenAI services in Microsoft Azure, in the cloud of Microsoft, and we are starting to be able to use it directly, these services in Azure Cloud. And also, of course, we are starting to see in more and more programs, and in more software from Microsoft that is coming using this technology, because as I said, is very, very powerful. So what it means, OpenAI and the partnership between Microsoft. This is so important in my opinion, because Microsoft is providing these services from OpenAI for enterprise, for large companies, for medium companies, for an enterprise model. So this is so important, because we can use the services from OpenAI in Azure. And what it means is that we have all the security, all the privacy, everything that we have in Azure, we will have in these services. And one thing that is so important is that all the information that we will generate in the OpenAI services will be only in Azure, and only will be managed by us. That's something very important, because if you use right now OpenAI services directly from OpenAI, that's good, but you have to know that you are sharing your information with all the world. So everyone that is accessing to OpenAI services could access to your information. And this is something that for me and for companies is very, very important. So here, Microsoft has the exclusivity to use or to reuse the services from OpenAI. And this is why we are offering this kind of services and this kind of software using the Microsoft Cloud with OpenAI.
Mario, quick questions for you.
Yeah.
Companies that are using Azure can use it, but people that don't have Azure, we're able to resell it as well, right? Just want to make it clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good question, because companies that has right now Azure can create a new services just to use OpenAI. But if you don't have that's not a problem. We can start a new subscription in Azure, and we can create from scratch the different services, and we will start with the integration and so on. So that's not a problem.
Thank you.
And here, what we have is all the services that we have available from OpenAI. That I will talk about it a little bit. We have GP3, we have Codex, and we have DALI. And in the next couple of weeks or next couple of months, we will have also available ChatGPT. So now I will start with DALI. DALI is a service that could create pictures or generate pictures just using a text. In this case, what you are seeing is a picture that was generated using this text, a landscape photography of a highway in a green field, blah, blah, blah. So we can type the text, we can send it to DALI service, and after just few seconds, the service will generate this picture for us, and we will send to us. Here we have two very important things. One is that DALI is not using a very big amount of pictures, and the service is choosing one for you. No. Here, every time that you are sending a text, DALI is generating the picture just for you. Here, the second thing that is so important is that you are the owner of the picture. So imagine all the possibilities that we can have with the service. For example, with our marketing team, this is something that I always recommend, or for our design team, that we can generate everything. We can generate all the pictures that we want for social media, for our website, for everything that we want. We can create just these pictures, and we can reuse it as we want. So this is a service that is very powerful and very important, that we can use it, and we can integrate with all of our services.
So the use case is for marketing companies that wants to generate their own visual effects and pictures.
Yeah, this is the easiest use case probably, but in the near future, well, right now, we are starting to think about other possibilities, because we have thousands or millions of possibilities just generating pictures. So this is in my opinion, the easiest use case. And here we have another picture, is a cat, but here is something that, in my opinion, is very complex. I never imagined the possibilities, because here the text is a cat playing online video games and having network problems. But here the interesting thing is that if you look the face of the cat, you are seeing that it seems that it is having problems with the network. So the power of this service, in my opinion, is incredible. It's really incredible in my humble opinion. So as I said, we can start to think about many different use cases where we can integrate these services in our company. Now let's talk about GPT. GPT for me is the most important one, because GPT understands our language, our natural language. It understands what the human or what we are saying, and is able to give us an answer. It is able to give us an answer just using a model that it has pre-trained, because GPT has his own model. But for me and for companies, the most interesting use case is that we can train the model with our knowledge base, or we can train with whatever we want. For example, if we want an assistant for our company that is talking about our services, we can use the power of GPT that understand everything and can give us the best answer possible, but with our information. So this service is, for me, is really incredible. The first time that I started to use it, I never seen a technology like that, and I'm really impressed about the performance and about the advantage that will cause in our work, because I can imagine thousands or hundreds of different use cases where we can integrate it. So here, just to give you an example, we are sending a text in this case, and we are saying to GPT that please summarize this for a second grade student. So the service is able to understand all of these tests, and is able to understand that I asking to the service to summarize this test. And this is the answer that is given to me. Jupiter is a very big, bright planet, blah, blah, blah. So it knows that the text has to be for a second grade student, and is doing also a summary of the text. So the powerful of the service is really amazing. But let's go ahead and let's talk about translation, for example. This is something that is possible too. We can say to the service, please translate into Spanish, or please translate it to German, or whatever language we want. And that's something possible. That's something that we can do. As you are seeing here, we are sending this test, and after that, we are receiving the translated test. So also the power here is that it's understanding that I'm asking for the translation, and it's understanding all the tests and translating to Spanish. So it's really impressed. And now let's talk about ChatGPT. In this case, ChatGPT is is an enhanced version, because in this case we can chat directly with the machine. We can talk with the machine in the same way that we are doing with an assistant or with a bot or whatever. So we have a chat where we are sending or typing our messages, and we are receiving the answers. But at the end, we are using the same services. We are using GPT. But the good thing is that ChatGPT is able to save the state. So if you started the conversation saying, okay, you have to be an agent of my company, you have to sell me something, and I'm starting to send you some few messages, and after few dialogues, it the service will remind the beginning of the conversation, and is able to answer you with the beginning of the conversation. So that's something so interesting, because we can integrate this service, ChatGPT, for example, in our website, or if in our call center, or whatever we want. So I think that this service is also very powerful. This is something that you can try directly. If you want to play just with the service, you can go directly to the website of OpenAI. I think that you should create, or you have to create an account, but you can start to play and see the power of the service. You can start to talk with the machine. Okay, so now the most important thing that is how we can use how can we use these services, or how we can apply these services in our company. We say that we have three different ways to apply these services. We have the simple, that is the samples that I was showing, that I'm sending a message to OpenAI. I'm asking about anything, and OpenAI is able to answer using the generic model, the pre-trained model that it is available for us. This is the simple use case. But now let's talk about the fine-tune. The fine-tune is more interesting, because in fine-tune we can give a knowledge base, we can give a domain knowledge to OpenAI service. So OpenAI service could answer the question like an employee of my company and with the knowledge of my company. So, for example, I use some use cases that we are seeing is internally with employees. If I want to know something about our company, about my own company, I can give all the information to OpenAI, and my employees in this case could ask different questions to OpenAI. Or for example, for customers, if we want to train OpenAI with our services and we want to sell I don't know, a car, for example, we can publish the service in our website, and I can ask about the service that my company is providing. So this is a use case that for me is more important because I can give my own knowledge base. I can pre-train to my OpenAI service, and it could answer with my knowledge, with all my information. But now the most complex scenario that for me is the most powerful, and in most of the use cases that we are seeing is probably in this case, is with connected data. And in this case, we are accessing to the data that we have in our company to provide the right information for the user. So imagine, for example, that we want to access to a document that we have in our system, in our company, that is talking about, again, about our services. So we can ask to OpenAI about this information, and OpenAI could be connected to another service that could be, for example, a semantic search or whatever we want. And from that we can access to the data source that we have, or a database or whatever we have, get the information and answer this information to the user. So probably, as I said, in most of the use cases that we will have will be this scenario.
Mario, this will be
Yep.
a structured data source or unstructured data source. Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter. For example, this one is more a structured data source, but in this case that I will explain right now is unstructured, because we are taking directly documents in PDF, for example, or a Word document, and we are taking the information and we are sending the information directly to the user. So at the end, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So as I was saying, in this information, we are taking the information from a document that we have in our company, for example, in our knowledge base of our company, and here we are using another service that could be an OCR, for example, that is analyzing the text that I have in my document, and with OpenAI I could search information that is inside the document. So imagine the powerful of this scenario. If we have a very big amount of documents in our company, just using these two services, an OCR, for example, and OpenAI, we can ask about everything that we have in our company, about all the knowledge that we have inside our documents. So this scenario is also very, very interesting.
Mario, can you give an example of documents that you could use? For example, things that you came across in your services?
Yeah, for example, we are right now working with a company, with an energy company, and we are taking invoices of customers from the database of the company, and we are reading the invoices, and we are able to explain to the customer what is inside the invoice. I don't know for in your case, Moshe, but in my case, it's very difficult for me to understand the invoice that I receive from my energy company. So sometimes I need some explanation or some information about what I have in my invoice. So this is a use case that we are right now working on, that we are able to get this document, we are able to read what is inside the document, and we are able to explain to the customer why or what is happening in this invoice. And if you think in another industry or in another vertical, it's exactly the same. We can take any other document, analyze the information, and answer the information to the customer, for example. Another scenario that we have is for employees. For example, we have technical information about how to repair, for example, a machine, or about how to do a maintenance. We are taking these documents, all of this information. We are storing this information, and with OpenAI, we are able to ask about how to do the maintenance of a machine, for example. But here, the most interesting thing is that also OpenAI could ask to the user, to the employee, for example, if he knows how to do in the right way the maintenance. It could be like an exam or something like that. So this scenario is also very, very interesting.
Mario, I see an example of Snowflake, and obviously Snowflake is a growing company with a lot of clients. What kind of knowledge base are you extracting from Snowflake, for example? Can you give us an example of that?
But at the end, whatever we have stored in Snowflake, it could be whatever we have in Snowflake, because in this architecture is more complex, because we have different services that are all of them connected. But what we are getting from Snowflake is different information, a very big amount of information that we are taking from there, and we are able to ask about any of this information that we have stored there. But here, the interesting thing is that also we are asking with our natural language to OpenAI, and OpenAI is able to generate directly the query that we need to use to get the information from Snowflake, for example. So imagine the possibility of that probably you don't need a very big team to develop a software to get to make queries to Snowflake, for example, because also using OpenAI, you are able to do directly or automatically the queries to Snowflake. So the powerful of that is really amazing.
That is fantastic. That's really impressive. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So now let's talk about. Well, I was talking about real scenarios, about real use cases, but I want to show you more use cases where we are working. Here we have a table, or different columns where we have different use cases where we are applying this technology or these services, and we have, for example, for content generation. We are applying for call center analytics, for example, for automatically generate the responses to customer inquiries. We are generating personalized UI for websites, for example. To do a summary, this is something so interesting, for example, for call centers, or right now we are using this service internally for our meetings. For example, every time that we have a meeting, we are recording the meeting, and just using OpenAI, we are able to receive a summary of all the key points that we were talking about in the meeting. So this service is also, well, this use case is so interesting. We can apply also in social media trends to summarize what is happening. As I said, also we can use the service for code generation, because we can convert natural language to queries. That's something really amazing, but we can do it. And also we can use it to generate the documentation of our code. For programmers, we know that sometimes it's very not complicated, but for programmers, we don't like to write the documentation. So just using the service, we can generate automatically the documentation. And the final one is the semantic search, that we can search, for example, reviews for a specific product or service, or we can do information discovery and knowledge mining, for example. And at the end here, we have other multiple use cases where we can apply these services. But as I said, here the most interesting thing is that is to understand what we can do with all of these services, because every time and every day that we are talking with other customers, we are starting to see more use cases. We are having workshops more or less every day with many different clients in different industries, and every time that we have a meeting, we are starting to think about in something completely different, because the use cases that we can have are completely different.
Yes, definitely. It's a new technology, and a lot of things are emerging as we learn more and more. Can you take us through exactly how do you do this in terms of your with Azure services and Open API? Is that what you're about to show us?
Yes, I have a video. I will go directly to the
Okay,
video.
very good. Thank you.
Yeah, I have here a video. I will turn off the sound. Here in this video, what I'm showing is how we can create the OpenAI service in Azure. As you can see here, we have my own subscription in Azure, and we are starting to create our service. As soon as we have the service created, we can start to use DALI, we can start to use GPT or Codex, that is the other one more for programmers. But as soon as we have everything ready, we can start with our use cases, and we can start to integrate the OpenAI services in our software, or to develop our own application. So now here we have the service. So I will open it, the service. I will go directly to the panel, and as I'm showing here in the video, I will start to play with it. So here in this scenario, I will go forward because here I'm choosing between the different models that we have. At the beginning, I was talking about the pre-trained models that we have available. So the first step is to choose the pre-trained model that you want to use. And here in this example, is for hospitality industry, but it could be reused for any other industry. And what I'm doing here in this example is that I'm taking all the reviews of a hotel from a website, and I'm sending all of this information to GPT, and I'm asking for a summary of all the reviews that I was taking from the website. And here we have the answer. Overall, the hotel seems to be well maintained, and blah blah blah. So we can take a lot of information, 1,000 or million of documents, or any information that we want, and we can analyze what is happening, for example. So imagine the possibilities to apply this in any other industry. And in this last one, it's pretty similar. I will go forward again, because this one is very similar. Oops, sorry, this is the same one. This one. This is for pharma industry, and in this case, I took all the information about different drugs that I took from a website. And here also, I'm sending again all of this information to GPT about all the drugs, all the information that I was taking, and and after that I could start to ask any question that I want about this information. I'm sending here, click on generate, and now I'm starting to ask any question. For example, what can you tell me about these drugs? So here it automatically is giving an answer, because the service was analyzing all the information that I sent, and after that is understanding my question, and is sending me the correct or the right answer after analyzing what I want. So here I'm asking about when this drug was approved, and automatically I get the answer. As you can see here, the service is very, very fast. In just a few seconds, I can get the right answer with all the text that I send to the service. What do you think, Moshe?
Yes, very nice. So help me understand something else. An IT person within a large company or any company can develop all that on his own, correct? I mean,
Yeah,
this is something that's available if they do have Azure and all the services with Microsoft.
yeah.
The question that I have is where the value proposition that we bring to the table as a service to our clients in terms of implementing something like that. Can you share some more light on that?
Yeah, what we provide is that we have the expertise, we have the knowledge in the company to use these services, and we can we know very well how to integrate these services with others that we can have in our own company. We know very well how to integrate, for example, GPT with we were talking about the Snowflake, about SQL database, about any other service. And also what we can do is that we can train, or we can help you to train GPT, for example, to answer any question with your knowledge base. So we can take all of the information that you have available, we can send it to GPT, and we can provide the services or the APIs to access directly to at the end to the services, to OpenAI services.
Great. And another question that I have is companies will need to automate all these processes, right, at some point. So this is another service that we provide.
Yeah, that's so important, because one of the best advantages that we can get from the services is that we can automate many different things. And if you understand and if you know how to use the service, you can automate many different things, and this is where we can help you. We can help you to automate all of those things.
Right. Okay. And the way we would do this is by consulting with the companies and sitting down and trying to understand what information they're looking to get out of this, and how would they want that to be implemented. And the services could be a fixed service. I'm just sharing this with the people on the webinar. It could be a time and material type of services or fixed services. So we are flexible with that.
Yeah, we are very flexible. We can work in both ways. It depends on the requirements, also on the use case. But we are very flexible on that.
Great. And you do you have any other topics to cover before we finalize this? I know you showed a couple of examples of using integrated technology, using GPT, artificial intelligence. Anything else that you want to add, Mario, about this particular capabilities?
No, I think that's everything from my side. As I said, I will repeat again. It's very important to understand what we can do with those services, and it's very important to start as soon as possible to use it in your company, because if you don't do it, it will be very complicated in the next years. This is my opinion, and I always repeat the same. So that's, as I said, that's everything from my side. If you have any questions, you have the possibility to write everything that you want on LinkedIn on the comments. We will more than happy to answer all of those questions. Also, you have our contacts. You can send us to Moshe or me. You can send us any other question that you have, and if you prefer to have a meeting or whatever, of course we can do it.
Very nice. I appreciate that, Mario. I hope everybody gained the benefits and learned something new. As I said, this is new technology. The sooner you learn how to use this technology, the sooner you're going to secure your job as well. So we look forward to have follow-up conversations with everyone, with anybody who's interested in pursuing it. Mario and I will support you and help you with this process. Thank you very much, everybody, and I appreciate your time. You're taking the time to watch this brief seminar.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.